Here is another story where a wife betrays her husband. He says, "My wife cheated after 5 years of marriage. I kicked her out. Throw away, since my main account and an enemy is probably compromised. I, 33 male, recently found out that my wife, who's 31 of 5 years and partner of 13 years, was having a months-long emotional and physical affair with another man of similar age. Currently, we are in minimal contact, and I anticipate she will be served with divorce papers sometime this week. I have no interest in reconciliation, but let me describe what happened and where I am now. Yeah, reconciliation is not always the answer. We have been married for 5 years, partners since our late teens, and we are both basically each other's first everything. First serious relationship, first sexual partners, and first love, even hoping to start a family in the near future. I deeply trusted my wife and never ever thought she would do as much as hold hands with another man. None of us ever thinks our partner will betray us. We just never do. So imagine the shock when I found out that her cheating went full-blown nuclear. I noticed that her behavior was off for the past several months. New hairstyles, makeup, new clothes, dressing more provocatively, a new friend group of whom I knew nothing and never met, posting thirst trap pics on Instagram. I don't have social media to monitor her. Yep, that's a red flag a lot of men miss. Also, she routinely stayed out late with friends or sleepovers with female friends because she would be too drunk to drive herself home on a random Tuesday night. This was happening routinely for several months, multiple times a week. I was so emotionally exhausted due to my career, 80+ hour weeks, erratic schedule, and working nights that I did not have the energy to put the pieces together. Me personally, I don't care if you work 80+ hours a week or more. Once your partner cheats, knowing the sacrifice you are making to provide for your family, it should be over. No questions asked. To hell with reconciliation. I was in survival mode. On a couple of occasions, I somewhat lightly asked her if she was cheating, and she brushed it off. Well, a few weeks ago, we were hanging out watching TV, and she was vigorously texting on her phone all night. Something finally seemed too off to me. She had a unique text tone for someone she was texting, which was odd. Note that I had never gone through her phone throughout our whole relationship, so my degree of suspicion was very high. When she went to the bathroom, I searched her phone with the word sex, and many iMessage texts came up with this guy, her AP. She was returning from the restroom, so I put back her phone and tried to act cool until she went to bed, at which point I searched thoroughly through her phone to find out she was having a 3 to 4 month long emotional and physical affair with her AP. Before I gave her phone back, I texted her AP from her phone to tell him that she was married. I don't know if they are still a thing and don't really give a fuck. Okay, now all the puzzle pieces of her odd behavior are coming together. Reading through their text, I see that in the past 3 months, she had met up with this guy at least 15 to 20 times to hang out and have sex, sometimes staying at his house overnight to cuddle. Get the fuck out of here. Cuddle? What? Grown-ups don't cuddle when they hang out. They don't do that. All the while, when she would tell me she was with her female friends, she was with him. When she told me she was with her family, she was with him. When she was staying late at work, she was with him. She even went on a weekend vacation with this guy, where they stayed in a fancy hotel together, for which she had lied and said she was having a girls' weekend. In some pics, I saw she was not wearing her wedding ring, and I suspect the AP didn't know she was married. I don't even know how she found or met this guy. My wife flawlessly executed the appearance of a single woman through a second life, at least until she got caught and exposed. She lied and deceived me so many times about everything: her location, who she was with, what she was doing. I trusted this woman more than anyone in the world, and she broke me in the worst imaginable way. This would hurt less if she had just physically died, rather than betrayed me in this manner. While their text messages likely detail just the tip of the iceberg of what they had done together, the text messages they sent were so sexually obscene. She says how she loves it when he finishes inside her. She is obsessed with sex with him, loves his big toy, wants to go to a sex shop with him, loves to perform lip service on him. You get the picture. She did derogatory sexual acts with him that she would never do with me. Yes, I now know of the Madonna 304 complex, LOL. Trust me, there are much more explicit things, but I won't go there. And yes, I quickly exposed to her family what she had done, sparing the most explicit items for the sake of decency. She wasn't wearing protection when she was having sex with him. She is not on birth control. She risked exposing me to STDs. I got tested, all negative. Worst of all, she did this over a dozen times, clearly without remorse. She practically and constantly begged to hang out with him, leaving behind her chump husband of 5 years to take care of the house, career, and bills, while she had wild romps with her AP while high and/or drunk with him. What the hell was she thinking? Because she clearly wasn't caring about me or the marriage. Painfully, she would do these sexual acts to then return home to me, sleep with me, kiss me, and pretend to love me, all the while freshly contaminated by him. Wow. I would say that perhaps my recent behavior likely contributed to her poor decisions. She is a very insecure person, mainly about being increasingly overweight and obese, and I was, in general, emotionally unavailable due to the demands of my career. I was purely and routinely exhausted and had little emotional energy to offer the relationship. The stress of my career also killed my libido, and she was often turned away, which is probably extra damaging to an insecure woman. And if we did have sex, it was vanilla, but I didn't mind that because at this point in my life, I have a lot of stressors, and sex was not a high priority for me, sadly. Therefore, in her words, she sought attention elsewhere as she had felt sad, lonely, and insecure and sought validation. What BS? You are not justified despite the excuses. For your information, she knew my career would be like this before marrying me and said she would always be by my side. Also, all the years she was on birth control, her libido tanked, but I never considered cheating once. Clearly, she was already over the relationship, seeing how easy it was for her to have an affair, lie relentlessly to me, and allow another man to pleasure her while leaving me in her back pocket. She also heavily financially abused me as I paid all the bills and she spent her income on herself and her fling. I am a chump. LOL. Back to D-Day. I recorded all the evidence on her phone and kicked her out of the house. It was a rental. She stayed with a friend until I ultimately decided to leave town to be closer to family, where I am now, halfway across the country away from her. I have taken a leave of absence from work due to the emotional turmoil. Guys, don't ever let a woman mess your head up to where it might affect your job. Don't ever do that. I am doing all the right things: therapy, eating right, exercising, self-reflection, cutting vices, and peer support. I have not seen or spoken with my soon-to-be ex-wife since D-Day, and we have barely communicated over text. In our limited conversations, she did state that she was extremely sorry, hates herself for how she hurt me and our marriage. Her actions were horrendous and wants to do anything and everything to make the marriage work. Says that she loves me more than anything and cannot live life without me. Again, BS. In her text, she told AP she was falling for him and wanted a committed relationship, although he repeatedly told her that he had always only wanted a casual relationship. When he wouldn't give her the attention she wanted, she would lie to him, saying that she was going on dates with other guys. It was a lie, I think, just to make him jealous. Honestly, if AP wanted a relationship with her, I think she would have left me and the marriage altogether for him. When I called her out on her words and actions, she turned to gaslighting and victim offender switching. Given the extent of her infidelity and lying, I can never trust her or love her in the same way again. So, I am proceeding rapidly with the divorce. What is especially hard, since I am no contact, is not having closure on the who, what, when, where, why, and how. I crave closure through answers, although I doubt she would tell the whole truth anyway. I most likely would just have to live with that and the consequences of her actions. She is a seriously messed up person and needs more therapy than she could ever afford at this point. And she is now free to screw whoever she wants and have wild, risky sex because she means nothing to me anymore. That's the way you have to do it. Once you become indifferent towards her, the healing process will start to speed up a little. I wouldn't touch her nether regions with a 10-foot pole. Enjoy being served, wifey. Sorry for the long post, but the past month of my life has been a living hell, and I am at rock bottom with nowhere else to go but up. Thankful for whatever blessings I have in my life at the moment. I am surprised I wasn't institutionalized at some point in this ordeal, but now I am doing significantly better. Thanks for reading. TLDR, my partner of 13 years and wife of 5 years blindsided and betrayed me with her months-long second life with an emotional plus physical affair, now filing for divorce, struggling with not having closure, but sticking with no contact, mostly struggling with the betrayal, but doing therapy, and the only thing that can help me is time. Exactly. Well, the only thing I can say is it doesn't seem like he simped out. He filed for divorce and took the necessary steps to heal. Healing won't be the same for everyone, but sometimes when I read these forums, they always talk about reconciliation. Why? Reconciliation doesn't always lead to the wonderful outcome these so-called experts claim it will be. For one, it requires a lot of work, and two, there is no guarantee your cheating partner won't cheat again. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time.